Hey girl, just drinking some hot chocolate. So it was Halloween on Saturday, right? And in the previous episode, I gave you guys a bunch of super cute, super dope, super lazy ass costumes, and I hope that you maybe used one of them. I used one. I was like, I'm gonna be a lion because I got this hair. So my homegirl invited me to a house party that she was hosting at her friend's house. So she sent me the info, his name, his address, and of course I Googled him because it's 2015, and if you ain't Googling somebody, then you are doing it wrong. So I Googled him, and it turns out he's like the senior vice president of one of like the biggest record labels in the world right now, right? And I was like, ow, it's gonna be money in there. And then I was like, should I put on a cuter costume? And I was like, no, this is probably the cutest costume that I could possibly put on. And I was like a lion, and I had a smoky eye because I just learned how to do a smoky eye recently, and I do a smoky eye all day long. I've been going to church, smoky eye. Going to the gym, smoky eye. Going to your nana's funeral, smoky eye. Just I had on a smoky eye the other day when I was at your man's house. Your man's house. He liked it. He thought that they were like not the same amount of smokiness, but he thought I was cuter than you. So I was like, I'm a lion with a smoky eye. How much cuter could I be? So I get to this party, and it's a bunch of white people and me, super black and adorable, and everyone's having a good time. And I saw a bunch of like white folks coming in and out of this room, and I was like, oh, that must be, I don't know what that is. Let me just go see, because I'm nosy and I like house hunters, so I wanted to give myself a tour. So I go in, and it's this like giant closet. And I was like, oh, this must be the drug closet, because everybody in here is like in a really good mood. And I'm like, ooh, where the weed at? And everyone's like, ooh, weed. This dude has a little bag of cocaine. He's just flicking it. He's like, look at the flick of my fingers. Look at the flick of my fingers. And I was like, he was like, do you want some? And I was like, no, I don't, because I'm afraid of cocaine. Like I'll do some weed, but I'm not doing anything stronger than that. And I'm not doing everybody's weed. Like if I don't see you rolling things and things look like you might have maybe threw in a little bit of like, I don't know, crack rock in it. Like I don't know you, so I'm not going to, use your drugs, because I'm a responsible Christian American citizen. So I was like, I'm sitting there, I'm watching them. Left, came back in a little bit later. There was a different group of white people in there. Dude was putting cocaine on his finger, just. He's like, did you want? I was like, did I want your finger on my nose? No thanks. Leave, come back. I was in and out of there maybe 6 times. There were 6 different groups of people all doing cocaine. Just bumps on keys. I'm like, who keys are those? It doesn't matter. Did you want to put a little bit on your tongue? Now, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Okay, I've never done it. Did I say I've never done it? Because I have done it. Remember that time I accidentally did cocaine? I talked about it in one of my videos. Oh, you know what? It wasn't coke. It was crack. I accidentally did crack. Hashtag Lamar Odom. I was a crackhead for like 20 seconds. But cocaine is something that like I don't have much experience with, but I've been at parties, and the more money people have, the more drugs they seem to do. And actually, the less money they have, they also seem to do more drugs too. I'm not really sure who paying for these drugs. But my first experience with cocaine was in my college dorm. I was at 17, and my roommate was like, Marie, do you have a straw? Her name was Holly. She was super white, but I loved her. Like, I love people who are like super true to themselves. Like, those are my favorite kinds of people. And she was like, her name was Holly, and she was like, she wore like Uggs to bed, and she was like in a sorority. And one day she was like, Marie, do you have a straw? And I was like, girl, I got mad straws. Me straws is you straws. So she like took one of my straws and she cut it, and I'm like watching her. She's just chopping stuff up, and I'm like, oh, and she's making lines, and I'm like, oh, and then she took my straw and was like, and I was like, oh, you just used my straw to do that? I felt like, because I had never seen, the only cocaine I had ever seen was in like Blow and like Scarface and, every other movie that is in Hollywood. I was like, I felt like a prude. I was like, you going to hell. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So I'm at this party, and Everyone's doing cocaine. And I'm like, but where the weed at? No one had it. They were like, no one smokes weed, Diana Ross. Get with it. This is cocaine. This is the coke closet. I was like, well, where's the weed closet? And they were like, oh, Shaka Khan. So I never found the drugs, right? But I was in and out of the room a lot, and I even periscoped from the cocaine closet. So if you follow me on Periscope, it was on there. So then I got home, and it was like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning, and went to sleep, woke, and I never get hungover, right? But like this next day, I guess maybe I had too much whiskey. The next day I woke up, and I felt great. I was like, I'm gonna get up and have some French toast. I called my mom. She was talking real loud on the phone. And I was like, okay, God is good, great. And I got up to make my French toast, and I was like, you know what, let me lay back down. It's still a little bit early, because I went to bed at like 4 something. I was up at 10. So I was like, let me lay back down, 30 minutes, set my alarm for 30 minutes. Rolled over too fast, felt sick, okay? I was like, oh, am I going to throw, like, what is this? What is this feeling? Is this what hangovers feel like? And I legit Googled, how do hangovers feel? Because I've never had one. Because I'm young and healthy as shit. Also, I don't drink that much. Really, that often. So and I don't drink cheap liquor. Because I'm not paying for it. Your man is. Anyway, girl. What was I saying? Oh, felt like crap. I was in bed all day, didn't eat anything, slept until like on and off until like 7:30 at night. Watched like 2 Pixar movies, Minions and Inside Out, and finally got up and was like, I gotta eat something. First meal that I had of the day was almost 8 o'clock. And I was like, I feel terrible. And I was talking to my friend Sydney, and she was like, that's all the cocaine that you inhaled in the coke closet. That's the cocaine crash. I was like, is that the cocaine crash? So I wanted to ask you guys, have you done cocaine? Is that what am I supposed to feel that gross the next day? Or was I just hungover? I did have a lot of Jack Daniels. A lot of Jack Daniels. The bottom of the cup is gross. Like your man in the bedroom. So, this is what I wanted to say. So then the next day, yesterday, I opened my bag to look into my purse because it's mine. And I was looking, and I was like, there was like a little bag in there that I was like, what is this bag? Like, this isn't mine. So like I unzipped it. And I was like, oh my God, it's heroin. But it's not heroin. It's somebody's like insulin kit. I was like, somebody's blood sugar is crazy low and they're dead right now. They're dead. I'm looking for the name. There's no name. Somebody's diabetes kit. Actually, somebody's diabetes kit was in my pocketbook. But for like a split second, I thought it was heroin because I saw Ray, and Ray had this little zip-up pouch. And I was like, oh my God. But it's not heroin. It's diabetes. So I don't know. I'm not going to try cocaine, but maybe I'll try diabetes. I do love cheesecake. Wanted to hear maybe your craziest white person party situation. Actually, the craziest white person situation I ever was in is recently. I went to a party, and it was these like white girls with money, and they had a sheep. They had like a lamb. They had a lamb at the party, like lamb chop. Not to eat, but like a legit lamb with like a bracelet, like a collar on and like bangles. And I was like, why is there a lamb in your living room? And they were like, isn't it cute? I was like, no, it's not. I don't know if you've ever heard a lamb. You know, that, like in cartoons, they're like, meh, that little sound that they make. In real life, lambs, when they do that, they sound like grown-ass men. Like, they're like, meh. It's so loud. Like, the room shook every time the lamb did that. It was like, meh. And I was like, oh, there's a man just trapped in it. Is that The Rock? There's a man trapped in that lamb. And actually, at some point, they had like an animal wrangler, and she was with the lamb. Her name was like Lois or something, Lois the lamb. And she was like, she's gonna have to pee soon. And I was like, take her outside. And they're like, we've got some time. And we're all sitting there, we're hanging out, we're chilling. And then out of nowhere, the lamb just like does like a weird ass like squat, like spreads her legs and like does like hunches her back, just starts peeing all over this lady's rug. I was like, is that a Persian rug? Peeing all over the rug. I was like, that must be alpaca. Peeing all over the rug. And we're all like, everyone's just, and somebody was like, somebody put a cup underneath it. I was like, I'm drinking out of this cup. I'm not putting my cup underneath the lamb's butt. Finally, somebody put a little red cup under the lamb's butt. And caught all, I was like, oh. There's a picture on my Instagram of the lamb at the party. I was like, this is what happens when you have too much money. Too much money, too much freedom, too much just self-confidence. Sometimes you gotta take them down a little bit. That's why I'm sleeping with your man. Cause you too cocky. I'm gonna go. Call me when you get home. Don't forget to talk to me about these parties that you've been to. These drugs that you've done. I still haven't done shrooms yet, so let's do a meetup and we'll do shrooms together. Okay? Okay. Call me when you get home, girl, and say no to drugs that you have to pay for.